The Charlotte Independents look to remain undefeated on this young season as they play their 5th game in 19 days tonight, hosting the Greenville Triumph in this game presented by Novant Health. The visitors looking to get back on track after seeing their 2-game win streak come to an end Saturday against North Carolina FC. My name's Ross Davenport. Thanks for joining us tonight. This contest, Charlotte come into this game undefeated through 7 games, but they only have 1 win in their last 4, thanks to 3 draws. However, those 3 draws have come against first place North Carolina, 1 loss Omaha, and fellow undefeated squad Madison. So positives there. You may remember last season, Charlotte only lost 1 of their first 6 games before losing 5 of the next 6 in their roller coaster beginning to the campaign. But they're much improved defensively so far this season, and our Great Clips player to watch has something to do with that. Austin Pack. He was no cert to begin this season as the starter in between the pipes for coach Mike Jeffries, but he's been a revelation of late. 3 straight clean sheets, including a 9-save outing against Omaha and 7 saves on Saturday against forward Madison. As for Greenville, got off to an awful start this season, multiple injuries across the back line, but they righted the ship with those back-to-back wins over Fuego and Lexington before falling 2-1 to North Carolina on Saturday. A much improved second half in that game, and John Harkes' men are getting healthy. Nate Schultz, Daniel Wu return to the back line tonight. That'll shore things up a little bit. And our player to watch tonight for the Triumph is Devin Boyce. Now, certainly one of the more heralded signings in USL League One this offseason. Boyce still waiting on his first goal or assist in a Greenville shirt. He'll start on the left tonight as opposed to his normal right instead of... And he did start a few times on the left during his time in Omaha, but he's floated to the left occasionally this campaign, so should be used to it. We'll see if he can open his Greenville account tonight. Well, we're minutes away from kickoff here in Charlotte, American Legion Memorial Stadium. Stick with us. We'll be right back. Opening whistle between the Independents and the Triumph here on ESPN+.
Always reaching higher, pushing further, achieving remarkable. At Novant Health, we never stop. Because whether it's sports performance at the highest level or the playground level, we're driven to help you excel at what drives you. Not just keeping you healthy for the game, but also healthy for life. Novant Health. Expect remarkable.
When it comes to delivering high quality, affordable health care, relationships matter. And after 90 years, we're proud of the relationships we've built with you, North Carolina. We're collaborating with leaders like Vici, supporting her efforts to help schools address the mental health needs of students, and foster care moms like Gail, working with her to ensure our state's most vulnerable children are thriving, and caregivers like Maya, partnering with her to improve maternal health. From lowering costs to building healthier communities, we are committed to improving the health and well-being of everyone across this state. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of North Carolina is not your typical health insurer. We're 5,000 neighbors, friends, and family working hard to make healthcare affordable, easier to navigate, and accessible for all. North Carolina is our home. We're here for you, all of you.
What's the difference between good and great? Good tries to get it right every time. Great actually does. With Clip Notes, we save your haircut details so you always get exactly the look you want. Great Clips. It's gonna be great. What's the difference between good and great? Good is when your haircut costs less. Great is when it still meets high standards. At Great Clips, you'll always get the haircut you want for less. And with our easy online check-in app, you'll save time too. Great Clips. It's gonna be great.
Welcome to Charlotte as we get ready for this one between the Independents and the Triumph. Charlotte playing their 5th game in 15 days. I think I said 19 days in the Open, but 5 games in 15 days. So some tired legs for the men in blue, coached by Mike Jeffries. Here is the lineup for him tonight. 4 players out due to injury. Oberton, Dimmick, and DA and Nga all out, and that results in 3 teams being named on the bench for the Jacks. Congrats to Joel Johnson, 160th appearance for the Independents tonight. It leaves him only 1 behind the all-time leader, Enzo Martinez. As for John Harkes and the visiting Triumph, no Alan Gavilanes tonight. He was perhaps going to start, but Liam McKinnon comes in instead. Boyce will flip to the left-hand side. This is McKinnon's first start since that opening loss versus Richmond. Benton Evans remains out of the 18. Leo Castro was also a question mark coming in. We thought perhaps we'd see Jacob Labovitz up top, but Castro good to go after training in recent days, so he will get the start at the top of the formation. Look at the Jacks, undefeated in 7 games this season. Let's take a look at your injury report here for this one. Brought to you by Novant Health. There's the list of the outs for Charlotte. As for Greenville, they're starting to get healthy. Noah Frankie should begin running this week. Jamie Smith perhaps only 2 or 3 weeks away. So starting to get a little healthy now. Brandon Fricky on the bench tonight for the Triumph. We'll see if we see him as a substitute as we did on Saturday, coming off off-season hip and knee surgery. The veteran center back. We'll see exactly how the Independents line up as we see Joel Johnson already lining up on the right-hand side. It's a bit of a question mark. Him and Avion Flanagan both capable of playing fullback, wing-back, true right-hand side midfielders, left-hand side midfielders. So we'll see if they move around a little bit. But Joel Johnson on the right, as you can see there to start with. There's a look at one of the hottest goalkeepers in USL League One, Austin Pack. 3 clean sheets in a row coming into this one. Save machine of late. As Devin Boyce jogs over to the left-hand side for Greenville. Beautiful night in Charlotte this evening. Our referee tonight, Alexandra Billiter. She checks her watch, both watches that is. And gets us underway here from American Legion, Memorial Stadium, the Independents and the Triumph on a Wednesday night here. One of 2 games this evening on the docket, Knoxville and Madison going at it as well. They start exactly the same time, so we'll keep you updated regarding that contest. So both undefeated sides in action tonight with Madison and the Independents after their entertaining 0-0 draw over the weekend. Madison certainly had their chances, perhaps had the better of that contest. Independents, as we mentioned, 5 games in 15 days. Feeling the legs a little bit. Daniel Wu getting his first start in a while. He's obviously drafted in the rookie out of Georgetown earlier this season to that starting lineup because of the injuries to the likes of Fricky, Frankie, Smith, etc. And then he had some injuries himself with a head injury, a groin problem. Daniel Wu, congratulations on his first professional goal over the weekend against NCFC, a beautiful header. Let's take a look at our keys to the game presented by Resident Culture. For the Charlotte Independents, Mike Jeffries talked about the lack of creativity. They haven't been scoring much goals. Only 2 in their last 4. Many goals, I should say. As for the Triumph, John Harks talked about being on the road, building from the back, having that solid defensive presence, and then hitting Charlotte on the counter. And more of a traditional back forward tonight. Look with Tyler Polak on the ball just there. Back at his traditional left back spot. Aaron Walker takes one in the jaw from Dane Kelly. Alexandra Billiter not going to pull the yellow card out quite this early, but she's certainly going to have a word with the veteran, leading scorer in USL Championship history. 110 goals he had. Only the one so far, though, for Dane Kelly in League One. Mike Jeffries was shocked. He said, if you told us we'd be where we are in the standings with Dane Kelly only scoring 1, Corey Bennett only scoring 1, and with no goals from the likes of Obertan and Buyu, Ibar, etc., he'd be shocked, he said, if you told him they'd be in the top 3. He's got goals from the back line, though, with Dimmick scoring, Duty scoring, as well as Nick Spielman in his first year with the Independents. Here is Polak now. Noah Pilato, he scored in 3 straight games recently. Direct ball there, it goes all the way through to Austin Pack, the man from Alpharetta, Georgia. 29-year-old. 5 clean sheets in 9 games this season in all competitions. His last goal allowed was in the 32nd minute against North Carolina, so it's 330 minutes now without allowing a goal. He only made 45 total pro starts coming into this season, despite being 29 years old. So certainly a great start to the season for Austin Pack, who spent last year with Hartford. He had 5 starts there, and then before rejoining Charlotte, 21 starts for the Jacks in 2021. Mentioned in the Open, Charlotte got off to a good start last season, only losing one of their first 6 before losing 5 of their next 6, being outscored 17-4. It was a real rough patch for Mike Jeffries. They then only lost one of their next 8. It was a real roller coaster first half of the season for the Independents, who would sneak into the playoffs via that one extra win they had over Northern Colorado. Here's Polak now. Boyce, Walker, dealing with a few niggling injuries as Aaron Walker, but so critical to the center of that Greenville midfield. Greenville have had a congested start to the season. I'm not sure with communication there between the officials whether that was a goal kick or a corner, but it will be a goal kick for the Jacks. Take another look at it here as Lucas Coutinho taken off his toes by Trezor Mbuyu. He can play both sides of the midfield and front line. See Miguel Ibarra float as you see Joel Johnson getting forward. He certainly can play that midfield spot, very versatile. The veteran, 30 years old now. Spent his youth playing in Spain for Valencia, also played some for Real Madrid C. As you mentioned, should become the leading appearance man in Charlotte history over the next few weeks. Neither of these teams play on Saturday. They'll both be looking forward to that break. Here's Nate Schultz now, back in the starting lineup, so critical for Greenville last year at the fullback spot. Johnson is robbed by Boyce. Pilato back to Boyce, who'll just keep it in play. Moves it back to Polak. Polak, how inverted he's getting from that left fullback spot. Still seeking his first USL League One goal. His first professional goal, I should say, for Tyler Polak. Saw Daniel Wu score his, as you mentioned, over the weekend. Walker swings it in. It's a decent ball, and away by Duty. Austin Pack will try and keep this ball in play and does, just about. Has to drop the ball to make sure it stays in the box. Of course, doesn't matter where the keeper is, as long as the ball stays within the lines. See Leo Castro there. Scored his first League One goal recently. There's Liam McKinnon, another rookie. He's out of Villanova. In every game this season for the Triumph. In his second start, though, as we mentioned. Late replacement, Alan Gavalanis was actually listed in the initial starting lineup for John Harkes. He's a late replacement. He is on the bench, though. Dealing with a slight leg injury. Gavalanis was hobbled by an ankle problem earlier this season, but certainly one of the most exciting Greenville players to watch. John Harkes doesn't like that call. Seems like Aaron Walker got in position, tonight's captain. Road captain for Greenville, Tyler Polak, the home captain. Shalom Duty, goal scorer already this season. Long ball. For Hector Acosta, he cuts back in on Boyce. Acosta half thought about unleashing one with his left foot. Acosta still with it, scuffs the shot a little bit. Cleared by Lee. Now a chance for Greenville to break. John Harkes thought the transition be an opportunity tonight for Greenville. This ball's looking for Kelly. It's well defended in the end by Lee, but falls to Johnson. Slips it through to Ibarra. Left-footed cross from Ibarra, no one in there. Wu heads it away. Matt Dunwell there, the former Detroit City man. No chance for Greenville to break. Coutinho. Head to Castro, one-on-one now. Charlotte is scampering back. It's a lovely ball through, just couldn't find the feet of Liam McKinnon. He was making the diagonal run. Castro just put a little bit behind him, but some space there on the transition, as we mentioned, for Greenville. Daniel Wu clears. His fellow rookie McKinnon. Pilato. lively start here. See Ibarra playing more of a central role. He's such a flexible veteran, Ibarra. He can play left, right, center. So important these days in USL League One to have flexible players with the CBA limiting some of these rosters. Castro thought about it from 20 yards out onto his left foot. Castro didn't quite catch it. Another save though for Austin Pack. Green pants tonight under his shorts. John Hark said he saw some good spots despite the result. He was disappointed in the result, but they said there were some good moments in that loss to NCFC. Obviously 2 penalties for the visitors as they really attacked Hassan Gabo, making his first pro start at the right back spot. He gave away both of those penalties. One was perhaps okay, the second one certainly debatable. He had a rough first half, only 1 shot in that first half, but came back nicely in the second half. So he was trying to find that positivity of keeping the players positive, but also holding them accountable when they do make mistakes. Obviously got off that rough start with 3 straight losses. Bounced back well. He certainly used 3 points tonight. Into the boxes, Charlotte, and a good save by Jared Mazzola. He had to be quick there. It was Dane Kelly. Got into the left side of the box. Jared Mazzola had to be aware here. Dane Kelly taking on Daniel Wu, beating him far too easily. Was looking for the cross perhaps for Ibarra, but Mazzola did well. His first full season as a starter. Long ball there for Castro, goes out of play. Aquafina is the official water of the Charlotte Independents. When the game heats up, cool down with Aquafina. As Pollack comes across to deny Joel Johnson. Let's look at Hector Acosta, the man from Venezuela. Suspended for the opener this season after getting sent off in the quarterfinal, lost to Tormenta last season. Dunwell goes down. Contact from Walker. I thought I heard it was Aaron Walker claiming he didn't see it. There's a bit of a breeze out there. You can see some of the players' jerseys blowing around a little bit. Avion Flanagan on that left side, very capable of playing left back or left midfield. Here he is on the ball now. Flanagan. Cut back, doesn't find anybody though. Pollack at the penalty spot, clear it away. Flanagan, 29th overall pick, 21 MLS Super Draft, didn't sign though. Cincinnati, didn't play for Cincinnati I should say. Spent last year MLS Next Pro as well as Charleston in the USL Championship. One of the big additions to this back line, as we mentioned, 3 straight clean sheets. Jeffrey said very impressed with both Flanagan and Spielman. Obviously Flanagan stepping up tonight to the left side of midfield. It's like almost a 3-back system tonight for Mike Jeffries. Duty, Spielman, and Acosta, and then Flanagan and Joel Johnson as the wingbacks. Probably their best spots, to be honest. Here's Bennett looking to get the ball in again from this left side. Charlotte finding some success in that left channel. This one into the arms of Mazzola. Does look almost like a 3-5-2 for Mike Jeffries. Dunwell sitting behind Ibarra and Sis. Flanagan and Acosta at the wing, Flanagan and Johnson at the wing back spots, and Mbuyu and Kelly up top. Ibarra. He's got Mbuyu on his left. Mbuyu cuts back in, dispossessed. That one will go through all the way through to Mazzola. Corey Bennett is on the bench tonight. He hasn't seen much starting action from Mike Jeffries so far this year. Just the one goal after 11 last year. Him and Mbuyu both with 11 goals. This one almost goes out of play. Mbuyu, who played for the Charlotte Eagles as well as North Carolina FC here in the state. Great season last year, I mentioned where there's 11 goals out of the Democratic Republic of Congo. Omar Sis, what a goal he scored last year. Distance goal of the season in USL League One. With the addition of Brad Dunwell, Omar Sis being allowed to roam a little more forward this season. See Miguel Ibarra dropping all the way back, wanting to get involved. Ibarra with a run here of 40-50 yards. Drops it off to Flanagan. Castro dispossesses. Now a chance for Liam McKinnon to break. Cuts it inside just ahead of Coutinho, but Boyce cleans up. Into the channel come Greenville, ball across, cleared by Spielman. As far as Walker. Boyce with a shot from distance is well wide of Austin Pack's goal. Pepsi Cola is the official soft drink of the Charlotte Independents. Enjoy an ice cold Pepsi while watching the Jacks. Pepsi, born in the Carolinas. No goals in Knoxville so far between Knoxville and Madison. We do have a goal in the USL Championship. Miami with an only 1-0 lead at home to Birmingham. One shot apiece here for each of these two teams, both on goal. Charlotte with the edge in possession. Here's Lucas Coutinho showing some off of some of his technical skills. That was a big toe by Spielman to stop the through ball getting to Castro. Now here comes Johnson, out wide to Ibarra. Going to take on Polak, skips inside. Miguel Ibarra never stops running. 33-year-old from California. No foul there as Nate Schultz stands up Treasure Mbuyu. Liam McKinnon in a bit of trouble here. He does earn himself a goal kick though. Miguel Ibarra, 3 caps for the U.S. men's national team, 94 MLS games, 28 USL Championship appearances, over 250 professional games, still running around like a youngster. Boyce under some pressure from Acosta, earns the foul. He'll go quickly. Pilato. McKinnon. Deep, no one in the vicinity for Greenville. Acosta will bring it down. No foul there. It's Walker under pressure from Spielman. Sis will come away with it. He's got Mbuyu on his left. Looks for him, but Schultz is there. Nick Schultz, a late addition in 2022 preseason because Greenville was struggling with injuries. Noah Frankie hurt himself in preseason. And Nate Schultz ended up getting a ton of starts at that right back spot. Start all but 6 games. In the end, there's a look at John Harkes. It's done well. Flanagan. Nice little piece of interplay here, and that's beautiful. Mbuyu now. Looking to take on Schultz. Goes back to his left. Mbuyu with the shot into the side netting, looks for the corner. and it appears he will get it. This corner brought to you by Chick-fil-A. But you with those quick feet. Schultz did well. At least forced the shot into the net rather than on target. To the side of the net, I should say. Miguel Ibarra will take this corner. So we're into the 20th minute of this contest. This one not the best of deliveries from Ibarra, and Schultz will just get it out of trouble. He's looking for Coutinho. He does find Lucas Coutinho in the end. Good work back by Shalom Duty. Pretty even contest so far. As I mentioned, Charlotte are having a ton of success down this left side. We saw on Saturday when Greenville started two very young fullbacks. North Carolina FC attacked Hassan Gabo, got those two first half penalties. And that was all they needed. Charlotte perhaps going at Schultz tonight, making his first start in a while. He's dealing with a back problem. Good header by Wu. Beating Mbuyu in the air. Charlotte won only 25% of their aerial duels on Saturday against Madison. So now Boyce looks to bring it away. Castro goes down. Once again under pressure from Spielman. He's a big body. He's Nick Spielman, the man out of Melbourne, Florida. Former Chattanooga FC man. Once again down the left, and Mbuyu. Looks like Tyler Polak and Nate Schultz have switched spots. Maybe John Hark saw something he didn't like. Tyler Polak now has played every position on the back line so far this season already. Left back as usual, then dropped into center back when the injuries occurred. Now at right back as they try to calm down this Charlotte assault down the left side of their side of play. McKinnon. Miscommunication there between him and Castro. Coutinho does well though. Flanagan comes away with it. Mike Jeffrey said the first half they really pushed the game against Madison, had their moments, but the legs really told in the second half. He got to the point where he said he was content with the game finishing scoreless, which it obviously ended up doing. So with this crazy spell of 5 games in 15 days, we just gotta do the best we can with these older guys, the veterans. Communicate with them how they're feeling, manage their minutes when we can. So Polak now back on the left. Boyce, Coutinho, Polak. Goes wide, looking for the overlapping Schultz. That's a good first touch by Schultz. Cross comes in, almost falls to Castro. Sis is there though. That's going to be a foul, I think, in the end. If not, it would have been a goal kick. Spend your Sunday afternoon with the Jacks, celebrating you, the fans. Come watch us take on North Carolina FC in the Dogwood Derby on Sunday, May 21st at 2 p.m. for Fan Appreciation Game, presented by Atlas Chiropractic. Get your Independence tickets starting at $12 at charlotteindependence.com. Say Fan Appreciation Afternoon with a 2 p.m. start there. Johnson, well, he thought the foul was going his way. He's as stunned as I think we all are. Called the foul against Johnson himself. Brad Dunwell asking for an explanation from Alexandra Billiter. Joel Johnson, tremendous engine and work rate, said Mike Jeffries. Great locker room presence. That's a nice little turn there from past Palau. That's a delightful ball through to Dane Kelly. Dane Kelly onto his left foot, and a good save in the end by Jared Mazzola. What a ball that was from Joel Johnson, and Dane Kelly looks to be a little banged up here on his right ankle. Certainly the best chance of the game so far. It's a delightful delivery from Joel Johnson, beat Daniel Wu. Evan Lee caught up nicely, did just enough. Jared Mazzola came out to close down the angle, got enough of it with his legs. Put it out for a Chick-fil-A corner kick. Jared Mazzola certainly didn't want to see Dane Kelly bearing down on him one-on-one. The last person you want to see in that situation. That's a good header by Kelly. Over the bar though. Seems to be okay. After that collision, Jared Mazzola made a couple of key saves early here, keeping this game scoreless. Austin Pack has been the one getting the headlines of late with his 3 clean sheets. With Mazzola asking Alexandra Billeter about a high foot, perhaps. Mazzola, not the tallest keeper in the world, but he's very quick, very athletic, good reflexes. Adam Quinnipiac brought in last season in the second half when Ben Hale got hurt. Back up for, obviously, Paul Christensen, last year's full-time starter, who's now retired. If you're looking for a little Greek, a little Southern, and always fresh, enjoy a great meal at your local Shomars. Austin Packer played his college ball here in Charlotte, at the University of Charlotte. Spent some time in Puerto Rico with Puerto Rico FC. Not liking something in regards to this goal kick. Taking his time. Still no goals in Knoxville. 0-0 there in about the same 26th minute. Miami now up 2-0 on Birmingham in the championship. Also a 7 p.m. Eastern start. Miami coming off that long trip to Oakland on the weekend. Not sure what's going on here. Austin Pack. Now Alexandra Billeter is going to say something. She was doing something down the field. Couldn't really see. XG low for both sides so far. 0.05 for Charlotte, 0.08 for Greenville. That tells you a bit how few touches we've had inside the box. Dane Kelly certainly with the best chance of the game just a few minutes ago. He was denied by the outrushing Jared Mazzola. Polak. Continuous time to turn. Double teamed. Out to McKinnon, who's now on the left-hand side. Shrugs off the challenge of Acosta. McKinnon with the cross in. Doesn't beat Spielman. Nobody there for Greenville on the edge of the box. Ibarra is, though. He'll look to just hoof it away. Nice little 1-2 there between Polak and Walker. Those two have played a few games together, to say the least. Boyce now on the right, with Schultz overlapping. First touch let him down a little bit, lost control. Still with Greenville though, Pilato, he can score them from there. Schultz still with it. Back to Pilato. Polak now, completely out of position. Coutinho shipping it through, is looking for Schultz, who claimed a handball. He's not going to get it. Now Polak's on the right side. Now potentially a chance for Charlotte to break here with Greenville a little out of position. It's a good interception there by Daniel Wu though. Now we have a whistle away from the ball by referee Billeter. We have a player down inside the center circle, it looks like. It's Brad Dunwell who's down. Man from Grand Rapids, Michigan. In a bit of pain. Won't go into any more details than that. Brad Dunwell played his college soccer at one of the premier programs, Wake Forest. 73 wins in 4 years with the Demon Deacons, 2 ACC titles. Played there with Ian Harkes, John Harkes' son, who's now at Dundee United, along with Jack Harrison of Leeds. Spent some time with RGV, OKC Energy. You mentioned Detroit City last year. 13 starts there for DCFC. This one's knocked ahead to Boyce. A player to watch. That's a delightful teasing ball. Austin Pack did well. If he hadn't got there, Leo Castro probably would have finished that one off. Austin Pack did what he had to do, came out, made his decision and claimed it. It's been a good quality game of football so far, though. No chances other than that Dane Kelly, no real chances other than that Dane Kelly one-on-one. Passing has been crisp. Final touch just lacking a little bit for both sides around the box. Castro, speaking of heavy touches, Collado under pressure from Dunwell. Both teams right around 75% passing accuracy in the opponent's half. Charlotte's passing accuracy in Madison's half on Saturday was only 55%. So much improved in that department so far from the men in royal blue. Ibarra. Walker gets back to slow him down. Sis. Dunwell. Good bit of play. Flanagan, did he keep that one in? Yes. Avian Flanagan. Good work though by Schultz. Gets a toe in there, knocks it off Flanagan for a goal kick. So we just go past the half-hour mark here from Charlotte. Ross Davenport with you. No goals as of yet between the Independents and the Triumph. And there's Mike Jeffries. In his 9th season coaching the Independents, his 2nd in League One. I asked him if he was really focused on anything particular with Greenville after NCFC really exploited their fullback spots. We'll get to that in a second. It's here's Mbuyu. Once again in that left channel, causing trouble with Schultz, who wins the battle again, but it will be a corner presented by Chick-fil-A. Like Jeffrey said, he really didn't have time to do much specific preparation for Greenville, obviously with the short week. The injury is not helping either. We talked about Rafa Minzigan really taking advantage of Hassan Gabo. He said Rafa Minzigan's good enough to make it like we're targeting anyone. He's that good. He can make you look foolish at times. Rafa Minzigan off to a great start. This ball comes in off the top of the head of Polak. That's dangerous. Head away by Castro. Only as far as Kelly. He mishits it. You expect Dane Kelly to do a little better than that. Just the one goal so far. He does have a couple of assists, as Kelly. And now a chance for Greenville to break. Castro. He's got Coutinho ahead of it. Done well back well from his defensive midfield spot. Coutinho slips it through. McKinnon lays it off for Boyce. Miguel Ibarra. Not sure how far he ran for that one, but it certainly wasn't a short distance, and he had to be there. Otherwise, Devin Boyce was going to have a good chance at the back post. Our player to watch tonight. Polak. Coutinho. Goes wide to Boyce. He's got Schultz overlapping this time. Boyce on the outside of the foot. Almost fell to Tyler Polak inside the box. Mbuyu now on this right-hand side. Acosta messing around with it a little bit, but gets it away. Falls to Walker, though. Coutinho trying to slip it through to Castro. Spielman with another critical touch. He's had some big interceptions tonight in this first half to deny what looked like could have been clear chances for the visitors. Mentioned the teenagers on the bench for the Independents tonight. Aiden Morrison, Marco Wright, as well as Amin Ibrahim. Luis Alvarez, not much older, only 20. So a very young bench for Mike Jeffries tonight. Not the biggest squad in the world. He's mentioned they're not particularly deep. Why this stretch of games was so challenging. McKinnon now on the right. Will he unleash one from here? Yes, he was deflected. Almost off Coutinho, I think, but Pack was there. Not sure how much of a touch it got on the Brazilian, but chance for Charlotte to bring it away now. The game's been played at a very good pace. Both teams moving the ball crisply and quickly. Four shots now for Charlotte, 2 on target, 2 for Greenville, 1 on target. Dane Kelly has 3 of those Charlotte 4 shots. Ibarra. It's like a whack-a-mole, it just pops up everywhere on the pitch. Spielman. Battle of the threes here. Polak and Acosta. Be a throw in here for the Jacks deep inside Triumph territory, but we are going to have a pause in play. As Aaron Walker is down. He was dealing with some minor injury stuff in the middle of the week. This has to be a concern for John Harkes and the Greenville fans as he's grabbing his hamstring. Not a good sign for the visitors. Tonight's captain, Aaron Walker, on the ground. Trying to get his hamstring going here. He covers so many miles. There's Aaron Walker. John Harkes does have Tevin Shaw on the bench, but he's also been dealing with the knock. Hasn't trained much at all of late. To see if Walker is able to continue. John Harkes with the jacket on now. Alan Gavilanes getting talked to, as well as Brandon Fricky. Trying to figure out what to do here. Tevin Shaw not in the picture. John Harkes trying to figure out what he's going to do here. Noah Pilato certainly can drop into that 6th spot if need be. See exactly what happens here with this substitute if it's needed. Not ready to restart just yet. Acosta's waiting. Grab some new gear for the next Independence game with scarves, hats, shirts, and more. Merch for every Independence fan. Head over to the store.charlotteindependence.com to find your next piece of Jack's gear. See what happens here with Aaron Walker. Not sure if he's back on the pitch or not. We'll start here with a free kick, which Jared Mazzola will take from his own 18-yard box. (16 saves in 6 games for Mazzola. Austin Pack had that in 2 games against Omaha and Madison. Dane Kelly now. Going to take on Daniel Wu. Goes out wide to Joel Johnson. Joel Johnson chips it ahead, headed away by Lee. You see Aaron Walker there in front of the Greenville bench, still receiving treatment. So Greenville down to 10 men at the moment. I don't think I've seen a substitution. So John Harkes tries to figure out what to do here. Johnson. Good Good work by Coutinho. Boyce. Looking for Castro, but a good step by Duty. Keep an eye on this Aaron Walker situation. He's trying to stretch out that hamstring. Johnson through the middle as he fouled there by Noah Pilato. No, but it falls to Acosta. Acosta with a deflected chance. Oh, and it almost falls to Mbuyu. Just past his foot and into the arms of a grateful Jared Mazzola, who may slow things down here. Allow Aaron Walker, more specifically, allow John Harkes to figure out what to do with this Aaron Walker situation. Joel Johnson's had a very busy first half. He seems to be, wherever the ball is, Joel Johnson is. That one could have been dangerous. There we go. All the way back up the other end as Aaron Walker is back on the pitch. He's going to try and give it a go here. Only 5 minutes to the half. So perhaps that's what John Harkes has asked him to do. Get us to the half and then we'll make a decision. Walker seems to be moving okay for now. Polak goes through the back of Mbuyu. It's like somebody's going to get a yellow card as Alexander Billeter goes to the pocket and shows Devin Boyce the caution. Boyce's 4th yellow of the season. So approaching a suspension, Devin Boyce. Boyce, the man out of St. Louis, Missouri. Lucas Coutinho asking for an explanation. Boyce champion in Omaha, with Omaha, excuse me, in 2021. 6 goals, 11 assists in 45 games for Omaha. Mazzola will clear it downfield. Under 5 minutes remaining here in this first half from American Legion Memorial Stadium. No goals so far between the Independents and the Triumph. Thanks for staying with us on this Wednesday evening. No goals either in Knoxville between Knoxville and Madison. Good work there by Castro. And he finds a wide open Liam McKinnon from the penalty spot, and it's 1-0 Triumph. Out of completely nowhere, the visitors have taken the lead. Well, well. They've been mostly Independents over the last 5 or 10 minutes. And Liam McKinnon with his first professional goal gets a big hug from John Harkes. It was a composed finish by the rookie out of Villanova. Let's take another look at it here. It was a lovely long ball. Duty perhaps a little too casual. Beautiful body work by Castro, and then I completely forgot about Liam McKinnon. Acosta was trying to get back. You can see Spielman putting his hands up saying, who was marking that man? And the answer was no one. And the Triumph with a late first half goal have the lead. Liam McKinnon, the 23-year-old out of Lausanne, Switzerland. Scored 17 times at Villanova. That's his first professional goal, just like Daniel Wu over the weekend. Shalom Duty goes to the sideline for some treatment. Looks like perhaps a nose or face issue, or contact lens perhaps.
Greenville Triumph goal scored in the 42nd minute by number 9, Liam McKinnon. Goals assisted by number 25, Leonardo Castro, in the 42nd minute.
It's Castro, the man with the assist, with the foul on Flanagan. 4 shots, 4 each side. Greenville with 3 on target, Charlotte with 2. Charlotte have not done well recently when conceding the opening goal. Dating back to May of last year, they have failed to win their last 11 matches when they've given up the first goal. We all know how tough Greenville can be defensively as McKinnon takes a high boot from Acosta in the face. No call from the official who was right there, Sarah Gaddis. McKinnon is down, the goal scorer, in some pain, holding his cheek. Let's take another look at it here. Barr was trying to chip it ahead. Oh, it looked like it might have just clipped his. Wasn't as bad at the first look. Acosta maybe just a glancing blow. McKinnon appears to be okay.
For their 2023 home opener right here at the beautiful American Legion Memorial Stadium. Tickets are on sale now at CharlotteIndependence.com.
Yeah, Castro's third assist of the season. That gives him the lead in USL League One. Veteran from Colombia. McKinnon will have to come off for a second here. As we tick past 45 minutes, we will have 4 minutes of stoppage time here at the end of the first half.
Ladies and gentlemen, the fourth official has indicated there will be a minimum of 4 minutes of stoppage time.
That goal really all was Leo Castro. Sort of more of a hopefully long ball, but he used his body so well to get the other side of duty. And the Independence defense completely forgot about Liam McKinnon. So Castro breaks a tie he had with Jaden Owen, Luis Keel, Mikey Maldonado, Alex Anderson, Tate Robertson, Dane Kelly. They all had 2 assists. Now Castro in the lead with 3. Here's Boyce. Walker. Still moving a little gingerly. We'll see if that forces a change at halftime. Castro spins it wide for Boyce now, into the edge of the box. Right-footed cross was looking for a Castro on the return ball. Cleared away by Flanagan. Greenville looking for a second here before the break. Mentioned the keys to the game. John Harkes talked about being solid defensively and that leading to things going the other way, and that's exactly how it's been tonight for Greenville. Other than that big Dane Kelly chance, and a few half chances down the left channel early, Charlotte have been kept pretty quiet. Just the 2 shots on target. Here goes McKinnon again, feeling inspired. Back to Walker with a bad hamstring. He still gets a shot away, and it's 2-0. Aaron Walker, bad hamstring and all, as he points to it. He doesn't care. It's suddenly feeling a lot better, and Greenville have a 2-0 lead. Aaron Walker's first goal of the season. His 13th goal in Greenville colors, and this time it's Liam McKinnon with the assist. Lays it back to Walker, had too much time and space. Some great movement on that ball. Austin Pack perhaps saw it late. And Greenville do double their lead before the break. Looking to hand Charlotte their first defeat of the season. And they're halfway to it. It's Liam McKinnon's second assist of the season. So 2 goals in the space of 4 minutes for the Triumph. We'll obviously have perhaps a minute or 2 added on to the end of this first half here.
Greenville Triumph scored in stoppage time in the first half by number 8.
Thanks to that goal.
Goal was assisted by number 9, Liam McKinnon.
Spielman goes all the way back to Austin Pack. 4 shots on target for the Triumph, and 2 of them have beaten Austin Pack, who was looking for his 4th straight clean sheet, but it won't be tonight. He's already had to pick the ball out of his net twice. It'll be a Greenville throw midway inside their half. I don't think John Harkes could have asked much more from this first half. It's been a solid display by the visitors. We'll see the Aaron Walker hamstring issue is one they have to deal with at the half. See what they do there. But those that have watched League One over the years know how tough Greenville are to break down when they have a 1-goal lead, let alone a 2-goal lead. As referee Alexander Billiter does not add any time to those 4 minutes of stoppage at the end of this first half. The stoppage was brought to you by Novant Health. Aaron Walker, his health is a question. We'll see if he returns at the beginning of the second half. Still limping perhaps a little bit as the trainer's asking him if he's okay. Still managed to score from 25 yards out with that right hamstring. Aaron Walker, one of 2 goal scorers for the Triumph in this first half. Lion McKinnon on your left side, the other one. Visitors will take a 2-0 lead into the break here at American Legion Memorial Stadium. Stay with us. We'll be right back with news and notes from around USL League One, highlights, stats, and more. Stick around with us here on ESPN Plus. Your halftime score, Greenville 2, Charlotte 0.
Always reaching higher, pushing further, achieving remarkable. At Novant Health, we never stop. Because whether it's sports performance at the highest level or the playground level, we're driven to help you excel at what drives you. Not just keeping you healthy for the game, but also healthy for life. Novant Health. Expect remarkable.
Hello there, my name is Seychelle, and what makes the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich original to me is that punch of flavors that's unlike any other. You get the crispy tenderness of the chicken and that hint of sourness from the pickles. Ta-da!
Hey, I'm Juan, and what makes the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich original to me is every single time you take a bite, you know you're gonna get chicken that's crispy, golden, and juicy. The Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich is the gold standard of chicken sandwiches. There's no touching it.
Stand up, Independence fans. Take a break from squinting to see that tiny soccer ball bounce around that big field. Now take off your glasses, rub your eyes, put some eye drops on your contact lenses, or let my friends at AccuVision LASIK help you get that 20/20 vision you need to see the match in high def. Mention Independence and get $1,000 off LASIK. Go get the details right now at AccuVisionLASIK.com. That's AccuVisionLASIK.com.
What's the difference between good and great? Good tries to get it right every time. Great actually does. With Clip Notes, we save your haircut details so you always get exactly the look you want. Great clips. It's gonna be great. What's the difference between good and great? Good is when your haircut costs less. Great is when it still meets high standards. At Great Clips, you'll always get the haircut you want for less. And with our easy online check-in app, you'll save time too. Great Clips. It's gonna be great.
On your mark.
Welcome back to Charlotte here, where the Greenville Triumph scored 2 late goals in the first half to take a 2-0 lead into the break at American Legion Memorial Stadium. Now, fans across the USL were stunned earlier this week when Hailstorm and former Independence forward Irvin Parra announced he had been diagnosed with testicular cancer. Let's hear from Parra himself regarding his battle. Best of luck, Irvin.
I'm pretty sure everybody around right now wants to know like why I'm not playing and whatnot. I'm battling cancer. Got diagnosed with testicular cancer, February 6th. Right away, my oncologist told me that I needed surgery. On February 13th, I did my surgery. Through the scans and everything, it looked good. So I could have returned to play. So that's why I was back in preseason, with the team and whatnot. But unfortunately, my oncologist called me again. I had to go in to get a PET scan, and so once I did the PET scan, the results came in that, cancer was spreaded. So then I had to do 3 cycles of chemotherapy, which is what I'm currently doing right now. So far, so good. I've been taking the treatment quite well. There is some rainy days, just like there is some sunny days, I love to be out there, and even play 10, 5 minutes, Sometimes, life just gives you certain obstacles that you have to, be patient. It's been quite difficult, to be honest with you. I mean, this is all I've ever have done in my life. The game is temporary, and for me right now, I see life a little bit different. Honestly, I have one goal, and that's to get back to 100% health. I'm pretty sure everybody wants the same. I know once I'm at 100%, I kind of showed last year what I'm about.
Good chest down the shot. Oh, what a goal, Arvid Para! Are you kidding me? That's what that man can do.
The T-shirts, that was being given out to the players in the warm-ups. It was just something that I'm never going to forget in my life. I genuinely feel that they're playing for me, since I'm not there to play for them. I'm really proud of that, I'm really proud to know that I play a big role in this organization and in this team. Honestly, what I learned about myself in these past few months is I didn't know I was that strong. Like I didn't know I was this strong. That's it.
We all have goals. But let's be honest, most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Always reaching higher, pushing further, achieving remarkable. At Novant Health, we never stop. Because whether it's sports performance at the highest level or the playground level, we're driven to help you excel at what drives you. Not just keeping you healthy for the game, but also healthy for life. Novant Health. Expect remarkable.
Welcome back to halftime here in Charlotte, where goals from Liam McKinnon and Aaron Walker have given Greenville a 2-0 lead at the break. Let's take a look at some news and notes from around USL League One. We had a nice little stadium update today from the Northern Colorado hailstorm. The scoreboard's in, the turf has been laid. Just over 3 weeks away from their home debut ever at Future Legends. NCFC off to a great start. And Noe Meza, what a bicycle kick that was, as he wins Player of the Week. Here is your team of the week, led by that man, Noe Meza. Trevor Ammon on there. Rafa Menzigan, what a start. He's off too. Hornsby as well. No Greenville players on there. According to one Charlotte, Austin Pack, he likely won't be on team of the week this week, letting 2 goals already. Here's a look at your standings. Only 3 points separating 9th and 3rd. Look at Forward Madison. They haven't lost a game, but they find themselves down in 9th. It's only 4 games played, though, so plenty of time for them to catch up. Here is your scoreboard, as you can see there. The one live game at the half as well as this one. 1 Knoxville 0, Forward Madison 0. Sunday, just Knoxville just a few days off that win over Fuego on Sunday. Here's a look at your upcoming schedule. No games on Saturday this week. It's a weird one, but we do have 3 on Friday. Kickers against Omaha, Chattanooga hosting Tormenta, and Fuego hosting the Red Hot North Carolina FC. That scoreboard schedule presented by Hyatt Place. Here's a look at your upcoming schedule for the Jacks. 3 of their next 4 games at home. After this one, they do have a trip to Lexington. That's next Saturday. Then home games against NCFC, Chattanooga, and Omaha. And stick with us. We'll be right back with halftime highlights from this one. Greenville with a 2-0 lead over the Independents at the break.
Always reaching higher, pushing further, achieving remarkable. At Novant Health, we never stop. Because whether it's sports performance at the highest level or the playground level, we're driven to help you excel at what drives you. Not just keeping you healthy for the game, but also healthy for life. Novant Health. Expect remarkable.
When it comes to delivering high quality, affordable health care, relationships matter. And after 90 years, we're proud of the relationships we've built with you, North Carolina. We're collaborating with leaders like Vici, supporting her efforts to help schools address the mental health needs of students, and foster care moms like Gail, working with her to ensure our state's most vulnerable children are thriving, and caregivers like Maya, partnering with her to improve maternal health. From lowering costs to building healthier communities, we are committed to improving the health and well-being of everyone across this state. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of North Carolina is not your typical health insurer. We're 5,000 neighbors, friends, and family working hard to make healthcare affordable, easier to navigate, and accessible for all. North Carolina is our home. We're here for you, all of you.
Hello there, my name is Seychelle, and what makes the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich original to me is that punch of flavors that's unlike any other. You get the crispy tenderness of the chicken and that hint of sourness from the pickles. Ta-da!
Hey, I'm Juan, and what makes the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich original to me is every single time you take a bite, you know you're gonna get chicken that's crispy, golden, and juicy. The Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich is the gold standard of chicken sandwiches. There's no touching it.
Welcome back to halftime presented by Novant Health here at American Legion Memorial Stadium. Triumph with a 2-0 lead over the Independents. Let's see how we got there. There were chances for both teams early in this game. Dane Kelly had the best one. We'll get to that in a minute. Here's Leo Castro. A left-footed scuffed effort ended up bouncing into the arms of Austin Pack. Castro would have the assist on the opening goal later in the half. His 3rd assist of the season to lead League One. Charlotte consistently down this left side, causing trouble. Dane Kelly into the box. Good save by Mazzoli. He had 2 decent saves coming out nicely to cut down the angle. This was one. Kelly just breezed past Daniel Wu. He bounced right back into the arms of Mazzola. In the 29th minute, there's a chance for the Triumph. Almost got to Castro off the foot of Devin Boyce. Pack was alert, out there nicely to intercept this cross. Spielman was shepherding it well as well. In the 42nd minute, we would have our first goal. Hopeful ball, it just was played so well by Castro. He drew 2 players in. That left McKinnon wide open. And a composed finish for the rookie. That would open the scoring. They just forgot about Liam McKinnon. He made them pay. And then in stoppage time, at the end of the first half, Aaron Walker, who spent several minutes trying to figure out if he could continue this game due to a hamstring issue, didn't seem to bother him here. 25 yards plus, Walker with the movement. And Austin Pack is beaten. McKinnon with his second assist of the season. And Walker doubled the lead just before the break. Here are your halftime stats. Triumph with the edge in shots 7-5, as well as shots on target. Possession pretty close, just the one yellow card. That was to Devon Boyce for perhaps a bit of dissent. So he'll have to behave himself. We'll see if Walker does stay in the game. He was still walking a little gingerly at the end of the half. See if John Hart sticks with Aaron Walker or makes a change here. With perhaps a 2-goal lead makes a difference, as we see here. A substitute, Luis Alvarez, on for the Independents. I'll let you know who he's on for in a minute. Alvarez, 20-year-old, out of Honduras. Wonderful feet, good passing ability. Said Mike Jeffries. Looks like Aaron Walker is going to give it a go. Leaving the field for the Independents is Brad Dunwell. So an attacking change at the break for Mike Jeffries. As we're underway, referee Alexander Billiter blows her whistle. See if Charlotte can get themselves back into this one. See if that introduction of Alvarez changes things a little bit. Formation-wise, Castro now. The assist on the first goal. That's brought to you by Atlas Chiropractic and Wellness. Looks like Joel Johnson moving into more of a central role, perhaps defensive midfield where Dunwell was. Alvarez certainly going to be more of an attacking midfielder. Mike Jeffries basically started with a 3 at the back, with Duty, Spielman, and Acosta, with Johnson and Flanagan as the wing backs. Johnson was heavily involved early. Faded away a little bit as the half went on. Obviously, Mike Jeffries a little short-handed. No Gabriel Obertan tonight. Jeffries said he could have started if the game was on Saturday, perhaps. So Obertan, the veteran former Manchester United, Newcastle United man, should be back, not this coming Saturday, but the following Saturday when Charlotte are back in action. Both these teams off this weekend. They certainly need it. Here's Walker now, the goal scorer. It's back to Pilato. No Clay Dimmick either. Obviously a defender, but he has scored this season. No Bashir and DA. The Cameroonian man, he was the 47th overall pick in the draft this season out of Miami. Likely starter when healthy. Charlotte a little limited on the bench with their attacking options. They brought Alvarez on. Corey Bennett is also on the bench. Hasn't featured a whole lot this season, Bennett. Only started one of the first 5. He did start the last 2 coming into this one, though. I'm sure we'll see him at some point in the second half if he's healthy to go. Here is Alvarez now in the right channel. Looking to change this game. His cross attempt is blocked and Polak comes away with it. McKinnon. Skips past Alvarez. That's a lovely ball in for Castro. He's got the other side of Duty and Coutinho's there to tap it home. Castro with another assist and a 3-goal lead for the Triumph. And he gets a shoe shine from the Brazilian. 2 South Americans combining. Now a 3-goal lead for the Triumph early here in the second half. They look to put this one away. It was a lovely ball to Castro. He just got a toe on it as Pack was committed. And another Greenville attacker left alone. This one a much easier finish than McKinnon's. And the visitors well on their way to handing the Independents their first loss of 2023. Mark said he thought the Independents could get caught on the counter. And it's happened tonight.
The goal assisted by number 25, Leonardo Castro. That goal scored in the 40th play.
Charlotte now looking for answers to try and get back into this game. Obviously, whenever you have Dane Kelly on the field, this game is never over. And Buyu swarmed out. McKinnon. He's had a great game tonight, has Liam McKinnon. Listen, as a rookie, when you start the first game of the season, you know your coach has faith in you. Well, he's come off the bench of late, got the start tonight. Perhaps deserves another one after the break. Castro now with 4 assists. Gives him a 2-assist lead at the top of the League One table in that category. Charlotte certainly aren't going to give up though. Alvarez now. Shots blocked. Excuse me, cross blocked by Polak. Costa now skips inside beautifully. Lays it off to Sis. Does the same to Alvarez. Lee gets his head in there, knocks it over for a corner presented by Chick-fil-A. This is how Charlotte started the first half. They had most of the early pressure. Zola made those 2 decent saves. Doing that one-on-the-one-on-one with Dane Kelly. Flanagan swings this one into the far post. Wu heads it away. Falls to Alvarez, pokes it away to Mbuyu. Castro helping back defensively. It goes off his shin for a Charlotte throw. Looking for a quick answer to that goal from Lucas Coutinho. Coutinho's 3rd of the season. He's the player of the week last week after 2 goals and an assist in that 3-0 win over Fuego. Had that terrible head injury while playing for Tormenta. Took him a while. We talked to John Harkes about that last week. He said it really took him a long time to get the confidence back. Such a great tactical player with the ball, technical player, excuse me, with the ball at his feet. He was brought in by Greenville last season to really spark the attacking midfield, and it took him a while. Didn't really get it done until this season. Looks like a new man out there. The support of Pilato, obviously, he's another big one that was missing last year so much due to injury. Alvarez. Good work back once again from McKinnon. Coutinho now splits the double team. This one falls to Castro. He's got Coutinho to his left. Finds him. Coutinho was looking to slip it back to Castro, but snuffed out by the Independents. Polak with the turnover. The cross is chipped in. Boyce is in the vicinity. Flanagan, did he keep it in? Doesn't look like it. Maybe a corner here for the Triumph. Is their first corner of the night. This corner brought to you by Chick-fil-A. Tyler Polak will come over to take it. Turns 31 in a few days, May 13th to be precise. Fifth season in USL League One. Swung in by Polak. Falls to Coutinho, deflected, I think. No, just off the side of his boot and out for a goal kick. It was a good delivery from Polak. Talked to John Harkes last week about Greenville's struggles with set pieces. And they continued last week against on Saturday against NCFC, but that was a good delivery there from Polak. Obviously the first corner of the night. Greenville haven't had too many free kicks in dangerous areas either yet. So it's just a case of finding someone who can provide a consistent delivery. Got to beat that first man and put it in a dangerous area, something Greenville hasn't done yet this season. As Duty chips this one in. Looking for Dane Kelly, heads it off Lee, but Mazzola quick enough to keep that ball in play. Just joining us, we were scoreless in the 42nd minute when Liam McKinnon popped up to give Greenville a 1-0 lead. Walker would double the lead in the second minute of stoppage time, and then 3 minutes into this second half, Lucas Coutinho with his third goal of the season. Also on the assist from Castro. Castro 2 assists tonight. Alvarez. Lead away by McKinnon. Castro seems to be getting on the end of these balls. They almost look just hopeful when they're kicked, but Castro seems to find himself somehow on the end of them almost every time. Boyce. Nice little turn. Schultz will just about, ooh, I thought he kept that one in. Zaragatis on that far side, on this near side, excuse me, disagreed. As Aaron Walker seems to have shaken off that hamstring issue. He will get some time off after this. The next game will be till the following Saturday. Ibarra. Flanagan. Looking to take on Boyce. Does so to the edge of the box. Flanagan. Shots blocked by Wu. Boyce will launch it downfield to find guess who? Castro. As he goes down under contact, it'll be a free kick here. We're going to have a goalkeeping change for the Independents. So Austin Pack, coming off 3 straight clean sheets. He's allowed 3 goals tonight. I'm not sure if any of them were really his fault. If he's injured or what's going on, but Noah Abrams, Mike Jeffries said was going to battle Austin Pack for the starting job this season, is going to go in for the last 34 minutes or so. Well, that's not something you see too often in pro soccer, unless Austin Pack is injured. He looks perhaps to be walking a little gingerly. Yeah, this may be an injury forced substitution. Pack certainly isn't walking 100%, so Noah Abrams comes in. The man out of New York City as well as England. He spent most of his teenage years living in England. He only has 2 professional starts, one for Loudoun and one for Charlotte. Spent most of last season with Miami FC. He was here up in Charlotte last season. Those of you that were USL League One fans will remember the goalkeeping troubles that Mike Jeffries had early in the season. I think they used 5 goalies in the first few weeks of the campaign. So Abrams comes in, 25-year-old. While he was in England, spent time with Arsenal, Chelsea, as well as the Palace academies. So Noah Abrams in for Austin Pack between the pipes for the Jacks. Hopefully Austin Pack is okay. Certainly was feeling something in the lower body as he walked off. Certainly wasn't any particular play I can remember him hurting himself on, potentially. Leo Castro now with 4 assists on the season. He's got such great technical ability with his feet for a big man. Castro, the 33-year-old, he'll turn 34 in 7 days or so. Spent time with Millonarios as well as Peruvian clubs, Bolivian clubs. Came to Greenville from the Kaiser Chiefs in South Africa. Had 27 goals in 122 appearances for them. Best season was 2015-16 when he had 10 goals and 4 assists with Mamelodi Sundowns, also of South Africa. They won the title by 14 points that year. Bring the whole group out to the next Jacks game, watch some good soccer, grab some cold drinks, and take in the match with a view of Uptown Charlotte. Email tickets@queencitysc.com or call 980-392-9170 to schedule your next group outing. McKinnon looking for his second goal of the night. Crosses in for Castro, falls to Noah Pilardo. Out to Devin Boyce. His shot is blocked well by Duty. And out in the end for a goal kick. And we will see, as we thought, the introduction of Corey Bennett as Devin Boyce in some paint, holding his right foot. Corey Bennett will come in to replace Trezor Mbuyu. We'll also see Carson Talboys enter the fray. Straight up center back swap for Shalom Duty. Oof, you can see got kind of rolled over a little bit by Duty. Boyce might be back on his feet. There is Carson Talboys, the man from Buffalo, New York. Grew up in North Carolina, though.
Leaving the pitch for Charlotte, number 11, Trezor Mbuyu.
So Corey Bennett's in, seeking his first goal of the season. Off the bench tonight after starting the last two, the 25-year-old from Jamaica with 11 goals last season, as did the man he's replacing, Trezor Mbuyu. Evan Lee's going to try and shepherd this one. I was going to say out of play, but he decided to be better safe than sorry and nutted it away from Dane Kelly for a Chick-fil-A corner. See Corey Bennett there, number 90, by the penalty spot. Spent time in Spain in 2021 before coming over here to Charlotte. And Charlotte wasting no time with this corner, not allowing Greenville to sort themselves out. Some half-hearted appeals for a handball, but Jaron Mazzola will slow things down with a 3-0 lead for Greenville. Down goes Acosta. Spielman now looking for help. Finds it with Flanagan. Greenville got off to that slow start. Some people were wondering if everything was okay, but there's obviously a ton of injuries, and we've seen, listen, every team in League One goes through a rough patch, not always at the start of the season, but I think everybody with knowledge knew that once Greenville got healthier, they could certainly be back to their old selves, and they've looked just like that tonight. That one's a little awkward for Liam Mazzola. Mazzola has to come through the legs of Lee to claim that one, and he's laughing about it. As a keeper, you got to get down and dirty and do what's necessary, and he did that just there to claim that ball. Awkward ball in. Jaron Mazzola had those back-to-back clean sheets against Central Valley and Lexington for allowing those 2 penalties. So technically, this will be his 4th straight game without allowing a goal from the run of play. He had a rough day back in mid-April at Madison when Greenville lost 4-1. Well, those was an own goal from Daniel Wu. There was also a crazy counter-attack after a missed Greenville penalty. So once Bree Stevens gets rocking, it's hard to come back at that place. Here's Coutinho now, looking to take on Spielman. Got Pilardo inside of him, and he finds him. Pilardo. Johnson's there, claims for handball. Pilardo's back on his feet. Coutinho to Walker. Boyce with a nice little 1-2 attempt, but Walker can't get on the end of it, and Charlotte will clear. Looking to counter here. Ibarra finds Corey Bennett. Chance here perhaps for Charlotte. Corey Bennett. Daniel Wu does well, stands up, but Dane Kelly gets on the end of it somehow. Bennett's still wide open. Now Devin Boyce coming over to pay attention. Flanagan. Charlotte will slow things down. Johnson. Back to Flanagan. Chips it ahead for Johnson. He's onside. Good cross in. Lee's there though. Schultz will bring it away. Spielman comes across to cut that one out. End to end here is getting some tired legs with these two sides that both played on the weekend. Again, Charlotte's 5th game in 15 days. Hasn't been easy for Greenville though either. They've had a ton of midweek matches as well. And now Boyce with a chance. Seems to have shrugged off that leg issue he had earlier. That's too much pace on that one. They go all the way through to Noah Abrams. When you need to rehydrate after a workout, run, or a soccer game, trust Gatorade. Gatorade keeps the Independents ready all the time, so they're always ready to take the field. So Greenville perhaps getting ready to make a couple of substitutions. Perhaps one might be Aaron Walker, you'd have to think. We'll get a break, as we mentioned. Their next game not till 2 Saturdays down the road here. Perhaps Castro gets a break too. He came into this game at less than 100%, but what an impact he's had since joining Greenville. It took him a little while to get going. Contributing with the assists rather than the goals. Does have the 1 goal. Leo Castro. Spielman. Acosta. We'll mention that Greenville, normally teams in USL League One travel the day before the game to other cities, but John Harkes and the front office of Greenville decided to travel down to Charlotte today so they could sleep in their own beds. Certainly something the Triumph might try again if it's a short enough trip with the way this game's gone. Going to have 3 Greenville substitutions coming up, as that's a foul from Acosta, and it will result in Charlotte's first yellow card of the evening, as Acosta goes into the book for the first time this season.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. The referee has issued a 11 late.
Just a clumsy late challenge on Lucas Coutinho. Acosta knew what was coming.
67th minute of play.
So we will see the entrance of Alex Cox-Ashwood, who had the assist on the Daniel Wuko on Saturday, along with Alan Gavilanes and Jakub Labovitz. Gavilanes was in the original starting lineup, as I mentioned, but dealing with a slight niggle in his leg, so it wasn't good to go for 90, but he'll get 23 plus here. Jakub Labovitz. He was impressive on Saturday when he came on. Obviously had that great goal-scoring stretch last year as a rookie. As Lucas Coutinho makes way, as do Devin Boyce and Liam McKinnon, tonight's first goal scorer. So, and Walker stays on the pitch for now.
Greenville, leaving the pitch, number 9, Liam McKinnon. Number 10, Lucas Coutinho.
So Jakub Labovitz, the second-year man out of West Virginia University,
by number 7,
comes onto the pitch.
Number 18, Jacob
12 goals and 3 assists last season, despite only starting one of the first 8 games. In 11 goals in a 12-game span in late May to early July. Struggled a little down the stretch, just had 1 goal in his final 12 games. So looks like Greenville may go for the 4-4-2 now. That's given away by Walker. A chance now for the Independents. Ibarra, lovely pass with the outside of his foot. Finds Bennett. Turns to the side, Schultz. Good body work by Schultz. He's had a solid game tonight. Has Nate Schultz in his first start in a while. McKinnon into the box. Gets a low cross in. Polak Hooks it away. Ashwood gets ahead on it. Alex Cox Ashwood, the second-year man out of Anderson University, not far from Greenville. 2 goals last year. Forced his way into the starting lineup towards the end of the season. Started 3 of the final 4 regular season games. Wore number 17 last year, now wearing number 7. Johnson. Those substitutions brought to you by Atlas Chiropractic. Tarboys. Flanagan now. If you're traveling to Charlotte to see an Independence game, make sure you stay at the Hyatt Place downtown. The Hyatt Place, just minutes away from the stadium, is around countless dining options. Hyatt Place downtown, the official hotel of the Charlotte Independence. Oh, it's a delightful back heel by Labovitz. Now a 3-on-2 perhaps. Alex Cox Ashwood making Labovitz work. He does have fresh legs. Not quite enough pace to get to that one though. He perhaps should have gone to his left. Johnson going long. Looking for the run of Alvarez. Great bit of touch from the substitute. Sis, he can score from there. It's a good sliding tackle by Polak though. And now Gavilanes with a chance to run. Acosta, you can see he's feeling his legs here. And Gavilanes is fresh on the pitch. He's looking for the runner. Castro just over his head. Castro will chase it down though. Veteran still with plenty of running in his legs. Lays it off to Cox Ashwood. This crosses a deep one and into the hands of substitute goalkeeper Noah Abrams. If you're just joining us, Austin Pack left this contest early in the second half with what appeared to be an injury. He walked off a little gingerly. We're not sure of the specifics. I'm sure we'll hear from Mike Jeffries heading into their next game in a couple of Saturdays. And the other game tonight, 1 Knoxville still tied with Forward Madison 0-0. In the USL Championship, it's now 3-1 Miami FC. Birmingham's goal came via former Jack Enzo Martinez, who's about to lose his all-time appearance record to that man, number 8 there, Joel Johnson, in a couple of games. Dane Kelly, out wide to Sis. It's a decent ball in, headed away by Pilato, only as far as Johnson. Chips it back in again ahead of Ibarra. Zola had that one covered. Miguel Ibarra, I'm sure, hasn't scored too many headers in his career. Here's another look at it here. It's kind of falling back a little bit. Was never going to get much pace on that header. Spend your Sunday afternoon with the Jacks, celebrating you, the fans. Come watch the Jacks take on North Carolina FC in the Dogwood Derby, Sunday, May 21st at 2 p.m. for Fan Appreciation Afternoon, presented by Atlas Chiropractic. Get your Independence tickets starting at $12 at charlotteindependence.com. Corey Bennett now, off the bench. Lays it out here to Ibarra. Flanagan. Hassled by Pilato. All the way back to Talboys. Charlotte with the edge in possession tonight, 57%. Greenville with 10 shots to Charlotte's only 5. They've only had 2 shots on target all night. Both were in that first half. Charlotte offense continues to sputter. Obviously missing Gabby Oberton tonight. On that side of things, along with Bashir and Diet. Here's Flanagan now. He can run. It's the cross in. That's a good header by Dane Kelly, but right at Jared Mazzola. Kelly had that great opportunity in the first half on the 1-on-1, but that's only the first time we've heard from him since then. Good run by Flanagan. Took a little half look up, and Dane Kelly's going to put those on target 99 times out of 100. And unfortunately for him, this time it was right at Jared Mazzola. Mike Jeffries tinkered with things tonight and went to the 3 at the back, and it didn't particularly work. Ryan McKinnon was left wide open on 1 goal. Lucas Coutinho left wide open for the 3rd goal. They were made to pay were the Jacks as the Greenville Triumph head into the last 15 minutes here with a 3-0 lead. Alvarez. No foul. Castro, 2 assists tonight. Schultz. Score for Greenville, matching their 3-0 win over Central Valley Fuego a couple of weeks ago. That was the game where Coutinho had the 2 goals as well as the assist. Castro had the 2 assists in that game. Last time Greenville had scored 3 goals before that Fuego game was back in mid-July last season when they beat Richmond 3-1. Gavilanes, double teamed by Acosta and Alvarez, just trying to steamroll his way through. Doesn't succeed though. That could be a giveaway. No, Castro doesn't get there first. And goes back to Noah Abrams. Jacks fans continuing to make noise. Good to hear on a weeknight evening, down 3-0. They will get a much needed break. As we mentioned after this, the next game will be Saturday, May 13th at Lexington. They don't play again in the midweek until July. So back to a regular schedule. Schultz. That's a poor pass for Labovitz. Greenville maintain possession though. Walker into the path of Gavilanes. He chips to the head looking for Labovitz. Glancing header is wide, but he was offside anyway. Lovely ball in from Gavilanes. John Hawks wanted the Triumph to use their width a little more tonight, and they've done so, as here comes Brandon Fricky.
That was chiropractic and wellness substitution in the 78th minute for Greenville.
Normal starting centre back for the Triumph. He will give Aaron Walker a break. So a centre back coming on for defensive. Well, Brandon Fricky's saying to hold on. Now they're going to make the change. We'll see where Fricky ends up going.
15, Brandon Fricky in the 78th minute.
Here's a look at that chance here on the Activision LASIK replay. A lovely tantalizing cross, and Labovitz should have done better. As you mentioned, offside anyway. We'll see where Fricky goes. Looks like Daniel Wu may push up into central midfield alongside Pilado. So Fricky will go back to his normal center back spot. Mike Jeffries said him and Lee have played there together for what seems like a century. That's beautiful for Castro. He's going to have a go from distance. And Abrams was awake though. He's going wide anyway. That would have put icing on the cake for Greenville tonight if that one had gone in. Still no goals between Knoxville and Madison into the final 10 minutes there at the University of Tennessee. Alvarez. Once again cut out by Tyler Pollock. Kelly with the turn. Catches Evan Lee perhaps with a stray hand. Once again, a chance for Greenville to break. Cox Ashwood, the Frenchman. Pilato out wide to Schultz. Back to Pilato. Castro wins the header. This one will go all the way through to Abrams, though. So with the loss of Austin Pack, perhaps another injury for Mike Jeffries to deal with. Again, does have some time off after this one for allow players to heal. Oberton should be back after the break. Dimmick's missed a couple of games now, and Gar got hurt in the US Open Cup. Trainer will be busy in Charlotte during this time off. Sis in some space now. Towards the corner of the box. Chips it in for Dane Kelly, and another one's right at Darren Mazzola. And a frustrating night continues for the USL Championship's all-time leading goal scorer, Dane Kelly. Played for the Jacks back in 20 and 21, had 22 goals in 47 appearances. And you expect Dane Kelly to score from there more often than not. Another save for Jared Mazzola. This is fourth one of the night. They've been relatively easy, but got to be in the right place to make them look easy. Gavalanis now. This is dangerous. To the byline. He's cutting it back, was looking for Castro, but Steelman been in the right place at the right time. Crucial moments tonight. Snuffed out some scoring chances for sure. So it will be a fun trip back home for Greenville, only an hour and a half or so down I-85. And back to their beds where they got to sleep last night as Daniel Wu is down. Gets to his feet though, unable to walk off under his own power. Daniel Wu, the man from Cary, North Carolina. Started 59 of 60 games at Georgetown. John Hark said he's an intelligent defender, reads the game well, can distribute effectively, great leadership. He says he does it quietly though. He was a national champion in 2019 with the Hoyas as a freshman starter. So we'll restart here with a Greenville throw midway inside the Charlotte half. Tyler Polak will take it. 4 saves tonight for Jared Mazzola. He looks for another clean sheet. Mentioned that only 2 goals he's allowed in the last 4 games were both penalty kicks. Bennett. Looking to take on Schultz. Pilato's back there to help. Bennett has to retreat. Back to Flanagan. Evian Flanagan. Cross comes in. Perhaps came off a Greenville arm, but it certainly balled a hand. And a chance for Cox Ashwood to get going forward, but he'll slow things down and go all the way back to Jared Mazzola. Dane Kelly was lurking. Mazzola had to be careful. Johnson. Just joining us, Joel Johnson will tie Enzo Martinez in his next appearance with the most appearances in Charlotte Independence history with 161. As Tyler Polak gets called for the foul. And a chance here perhaps for Charlotte to get on the board. Alvarez seems like he wants it as Daniel Wu is back on the pitch for the Triumph. Johnson's coming over as well as Ibarra. Alexandra Abiliter will put her spray down. It's a little out to the right-hand side of the pitch as Mazzola lines up his wall. Certainly more of an option for a left footer. Ibarra's there, as we mentioned. See if he puts one on frame or decides to put it into the danger area. Alvarez lining up as well. Johnson off to the left now. It will be Alvarez with the strike, deflected off the top of the wall. As the Greenville wall does their job. Goes out for a corner kick presented by Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A corner kick upcoming for Charlotte.
Alvarez hustles over to take it. He knows time is running out here. This one swung in and claimed by Mazzola. Just throws himself to the ground. Here we will have a substitution coming up soon. Daniel Wu will make way. Tevin Shaw will come on. Tevin Shaw, defensive midfielder by trade, but he's played some right back already this season due to the Greenville injuries. Paco Craig leads Miami FC into Kentucky to face Josh Weiner and the reigning Eastern Conference winners Louisville. Don't miss the start of the new season of the USL on ESPN, Saturday, May 13th at 7 p.m. Eastern on ESPN 2.
Atlas Chiropractic and Wellness substitution leaving the pitch.
Now we will have that substitution. Daniel Wu had moved up in the defensive midfield, so this is just a straight swap at the 6th spot. Shaw moves in. Substitute brought to you by Atlas Chiropractic. Tevin Shaw, the 26-year-old from Jamaica, former FC Tucson man. Dane Kelly lays it off for Alvarez. He passes it back in looking for Ibarra. Ahead of him, and Schultz is there to nod it out for another Chick-fil-A corner kick.
Chick-fil-A corner kick.
The 7th corner of the evening for the home team. Only one for Greenville. Greenville's only had 16 touches in the opponent's box tonight, but boy, have they made them count. Walker's goal was from outside the box.
Leaving the pitch, number 7, Avian Flanagan.
We're going to have a substitute for the Jacks.
By number 32,
Avian Flanagan will lead the pitch.
That's up in the
Let's get to this corner first, though. It's a dangerous one, headed and in. As the Charlotte players want the ball back from Mazzola, it's now 3-1. So this one's not over yet. Goal brought to you by Botero Carts. Let's take another look at it here on the replay and see who got the last touch on it. It was Dane Kelly with the header. Certainly deserves a goal. He's had some chances tonight to get on the scoreboard earlier. That replay brought to you by Activision LASIK. So Dane Kelly with his 2nd goal of the season.
In the 87th minute of play,
Jeremy Zolla's clean sheet goes awry.
Scored by number 9, Dane Kelly.
2 goals and 2 assists now on the season for the veteran. Perhaps a glimmer of hope for the Jacks here. Just 2 minutes remaining in the 90. I'm sure we'll see at least a handful of stoppage time minutes at the end of this one. Camelanius now tracking back, Omar assist. Ball comes in again, Kelly's there. Off Evan Lee. Evan Lee appears to have some cramp now. Dane Kelly with a half-hearted penalty appeal. Hearing we will have 3 minutes of stoppage time from here in Charlotte. Evan Lee making his way gingerly downfield after that cramp. The assist on the goal for the Jacks goes to Miguel Ibarra on the corner. It's his first of the season. 7 assists last year. Greenville will certainly take their time here. It'll be their 3rd win of the season. They came into this game tied with the most losses in USL League One with 4. Schultz and Bennett battling. And a free kick for the Jacks. Taken too quickly for referee Billeterre's liking. Up next for the Triumph, a home game on the 13th against Richmond as they look for revenge against for that 1-0 loss in the opener. That was also at Greenville. Then a trip to Knoxville on the 20th, and then a midweek game again on the 24th, all the way to Omaha. They're back at home on June 3rd against Tormenta. So just like Charlotte, 3 of the next 4 at home for the Triumph. And a break after this one. Alvarez. Stoppage time brought to you by Novant Health. Don't miss a minute of the action in 2023, whether your club's on the road or at home. Catch nearly every second of USL League One action on ESPN+, the home to the USL, La Liga, the Bundesliga, UFC and more. Sign up today at plus.espn.com. As Tyler Polak goes to take this throw with Select, the official match ball supplier of USL League One. Many elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit www.us.select-sport.com for the latest Select product specials and more. Select, the player's choice. So a couple of minutes of stoppage time left here. Looks like the Triumph will hold on for this victory, their 3rd of the season. No goal still as we're in stoppage time in Knoxville, between Knoxville and Madison. This win will move Greenville up to 3rd in the table. Tied on points with Tormenta. 3 wins from 4 losses for both teams. This will be the 3rd win in 4 games for Greenville. Polak stumbles. Still plenty of energy. The veteran. And now Gavilanes. We've got Ashwood in the middle. Cox Ashwood nods it down for Labovitz. It was the right decision. Instead of going for goal, he nodded it down for his teammate. But the Jacks converged on it, and it will be a corner for Greenville. .45 seconds remaining here as a trio of Triumph players will come to wind some more seconds off this one. Gavilanes comes away with it. Back to Shaw. Solid performance and a convincing win in the end for the visitors in this one. Can the Independents find a second goal? Still might be a few seconds left. Alvarez skips around a couple of Triumph players and then is fouled. No call, says referee Billeterre's Noah Pilato clumsily made contact with Alvarez. And that's the end of this one from American Legion Memorial Stadium. 2 late goals in the first half and 1 early goal in the second half for Greenville are enough as they defeat the Charlotte Independents 3-1, handing the Jacks their first loss of the season. There's a look at Dane Kelly. He is your man of the match. Brought to you by Adidas. His second goal of the season. But the 3rd win in 4 games for Greenville after that rough start. They appear to be back on track now and getting healthier.
Fans, be sure to mark your calendars.
Obviously, some concern on the Charlotte side of things. There's no Abrams, the goalkeeper there, had to come off the bench to replace an injured Austin Pack in the second half of this one. Some more injury concerns for Mike Jeffries, just to add to the list. Once again, your man of the match presented by Adidas, Dane Kelly. 2 goals now to go with his 2 assists on the season for the USL Championship legend. Here's your play of the match. That's the goal from Dane Kelly. Header from 6 yards out off the corner from Miguel Ibarra in the waning minutes of this one. That play of the match brought to you by Paycor. And your save of the match is going to come from that man. Correct, that's Noah Abrams, who replaced the man who made the save of the match, Austin Pack. Save of the game brought to you by Orange Theory. Devin Boyce streaking down the right-hand side. This one would have got all the way through to Leo Castro. It was snuffed out by Austin Pack, who again would lead the game in the second half with an apparent injury. We'll get some days off to rehab that injury, so we'll see if we see Pack or Abrams in the next game against Lexington. And you can see Austin Pack on crutches there. Not a good sign for the Independents, as he was playing so well coming into this one. Well, stick with us. We'll be right back with full-time highlights and stats from this one at American Legion Memorial Stadium. Your final score, Greenville Triumph 3, Charlotte Independence 1.
Always reaching higher, pushing further, achieving remarkable. At Novant Health, we never stop. Because whether it's sports performance at the highest level or the playground level, we're driven to help you excel at what drives you. Not just keeping you healthy for the game, but also healthy for life. Novant Health. Expect remarkable.
Stand up, Independence fans. Take a break from squinting to see that tiny soccer ball bounce around that big field. Now take off your glasses, rub your eyes, put some eye drops on your contact lenses, or let my friends at AccuVision LASIK help you get that 20/20 vision you need to see the match in high def. Mention Independence and get $1,000 off LASIK. Go get the details right now at AccuVisionLASIK.com. That's AccuVisionLASIK.com.
What's the difference between good and great? Good tries to get it right every time. Great actually does. With Clip Notes, we save your haircut details so you always get exactly the look you want. Great clips. It's gonna be great. What's the difference between good and great? Good is when your haircut costs less. Great is when it still meets high standards. At Great Clips, you'll always get the haircut you want for less. And with our easy online check-in app, you'll save time too. Great Clips. It's gonna be great.
Welcome back to Charlotte, where it was a resounding 3-1 win for the visiting Greenville Triumph. And the Charlotte Independents, already with a number of injuries, now more concerns as Luis Alvarez being helped off after colliding with Noah Pilato at the final play of this game. To add to that, Austin Pack, the goalie, on crutches. So some big-time injury troubles for the Independents. Here are your full-time highlights brought to you by Novant Health. This was the first goal, a long ball to Castro. Beautiful work from him, and Lion McKinnon wide open at the penalty spot, and a calm, composed finish past Austin Pack for the rookie's first career goal. And he would add an assist. We go into stoppage time at the end of the first half. McKinnon skips past Acosta as well as Mbuyu. Lays it back to Aaron Walker with the injured hamstring, and what a shot from the captain of the Triumph. His first goal of the season made it 2-0 to Greenville just before the break. And then just after the break, they would make it 3. McKinnon slips it through to Castro. And there's Lucas Coutinho for his third goal in as many games, as he slots it home wide open. Nobody from the Independents anywhere near him. And we'll make it 3-0 early in the second half. Greenville would look pretty comfortable the rest of the way, but they would give up a late goal in the 87th minute. Corner from Miguel Ibarra. Nodded home from 6 yards out by guess who? Dane Kelly, tonight's man of the match for the Jacks. had a number of decent chances, and it would take until the 87th minute to beat Jared Mazzola. Here are your final stats. Pretty close in the end, but it was what the Triumph did with their chances in that final third. They put them away while the Independents didn't, and that was the difference in this one from American Legion Memorial Field. Well, thanks for joining us here tonight on ESPN Plus. It was an entertaining contest from perhaps two of the favorites to reach the playoffs in USL League One, but this time the Greenville Triumph, come out on top 3-1 over the Jacks. Both teams will get a much needed break after this one. My name is Ross Davenport. Thanks for joining us tonight. Have a good evening.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League League One cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League League One.